Good morning, students. I am your social teacher. We are discussing a lesson lithosphere 1 and endogenetic processes. In this lesson, we discuss about the earth interior parts, crust, mantle, core. These are the interiors of the earth, and also we discuss about the rock cycle and the rocks and geomorphic processes and type of plate boundaries and earth crust, its boundaries like continents, small continents and bigger continents and islands. We discuss about the plates and movement of continental plates. These are the things we discussed in the last classes. The movement of the continental plates. The continental plates movement caused heavy destruction. So these are the things we discussed in our previous class. Today we are going to see the same lesson. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the different types of destruction caused by the movement of continental plates. These are the things we are going to see in this lesson. First thing, we are going to discuss about the earthquake. So what is earthquake? The shaking or trembling of earth crust is called earthquake. So earthquake is a sudden movement. The sudden movement is occurring in interior of the earth, that is called earthquake. So here the earthquakes are generally caused by the sudden vibration in the earth crust, which outward in all directions as waves from the source of disturbance. So in this topic we are going to discuss about the earthquake. Earthquake is a sudden vibration in the earth crust. How do we know about the earthquake? We have an instrument. With the help of that instrument we are calculating the earthquake and its range. The point of origin of an earthquake is called focus. Here the origin of the earthquake. The earthquake begin in a part. That part is called interior of that part is called focus, and which generates a series of elastic waves. The elastic waves, so epicenter is a point of the earth's surface that lies directly above the focus. The impact of the earthquake is felt the most of at the epicenter. You can see in this diagram. So in this diagram we can see what is focus and what is epicenter and what are the other effects of and distance of the vibration of earth crust. So these are the things we can see in this picture. So earthquake is a sudden movement or vibration of earth crust. It originates in the interior part of the earth, that is called focus. The epicenter is a point on the earth surface. So this is the earthquake. And another one is the seismic waves. The seismic waves are the waves. These waves are the waves of energy that travels through the earth's layers and result of earthquakes. Results of earthquakes, the volcanic eruption, landslides. So these are the results of earthquake. So the earthquake generate seismic waves. These seismic waves depend on the nature of medium through which it passes. Accordingly, there are three major types of seismic waves: primary waves, secondary waves and surface waves. These are the three type of seismic waves. First one is a primary waves. You can see the primary waves. These primary waves are the fastest of all earthquake waves. The primary waves is the fastest of all earthquake waves and the first to reach the epicenter. Already we know about the epicenter, the surface. The epicenter is a point on the earth surface that is called epicenter. A point on the earth surface that lies directly above the focus, that is called epicenter. So here the primary waves first to reach the epicenter, these waves pass through solids, liquids and gases. Already we know about the interior of the earth. First the crust has the solid and the mantle liquid in state, and another one is the solid in state. The core, inner core and outer core. Inner core is a solid in state, outer core is in liquid in states. So these primary waves passes through solids, liquids and gases. An average velocity of this primary wave is 5.3 km per second to 10.6 km per seconds. Another one is secondary wave or S wave. This wave travel only through solid. Primary waves travel through solids, liquids and gases, but here the secondary waves, it only passes through solids. These transverse waves shake the ground perpendicular to the direction in which they propagate. So this secondary waves travels 1 kilometer per second to 8 kilometer per second. So third one is the surface wave. This surface wave, otherwise called L waves, it is a similar wave to P waves. What is a P waves? Primary waves. The primary waves, otherwise called P waves, it is similar to the P waves. These waves travel comparatively slower and are the most destructive waves. This L waves or surface wave is most destructive waves, but it's comparatively slower wave. The average velocity of these waves are 1 km per second to 5 km per second. So this is the L wave or surface wave. We are discussing the results of the movements of continental plates. So first one we discussed about the earthquake. It is one of the cause of movement of continental plates. So another one is the tsunami. The word tsunami is a Japanese term meaning harbor wave. It is adapted to describe large seismically generated sea waves caused by earthquake or submarine explosions and landslides. So these are the three things caused to create or generate tsunami. These waves travel at the great speed, more than 500 km per hour, and the length of the wave exceeds 600 km. These waves reach to a height of more than 15 meters near the seashore and are capable of causing destruction along the coastal area. So it is also called giant waves. The word tsunami is derived from Japanese word. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake that caused tsunami is the sixth deadliest natural disaster. So 2004 in India, not only in India, the world faced the largest destruction, that is called 2004 tsunami. It is the sixth deadliest natural disaster, which traveled at a speed of 600 km per hour with an estimated death toll of 2,80,000. So the 2004 tsunami, 2,80,000 people lost their life. What are the main reason for this tsunami? The earthquake. The earthquake is a main reason for tsunami in 2004. The earthquake, which occurred near Indonesia at 0.58 hours, that means 12:58 a.m. in the midnight, 12:58 a.m. in the midnight. It took nearly 7 hours to reach Chennai. So it is one of the most deadliest natural disaster in 2004. Third one is volcano. Already we discussed about the volcano. So volcano is a vent or an opening on the surface of the earth crust. The opening of the earth crust, that means the lava or magma broke out from the interior of the earth and it came on the surface, that means the crust, through which hot, solid, liquid and gaseous material. The hot, solid and gaseous materials are called magma. So magma rises up and eject and the surface as lava. We already discussed about the lava. Lava is a solid, so liquid material. It is solidified by the other things of the external forces. The volcanoes generally have the following major components. They are magma chamber, vent, volcanic cone and crater. These are the 4 major components in the volcanoes. First one, we take magma chamber. In the magma chamber, a large pool of liquid rock found beneath the surface of the earth. Beneath the surface of the earth, in the magma chamber, a large pool of liquid rock found in the earth crust. That means in the mantle, a large pool of liquid rocks found. Second one is the vent, an opening serving as an outlet for air, smoke, fumes, magma, etc. This is called vent. Third one is the volcanic cone. The landform built by the magma ejected from the vent is the shape of a cone. So it is, we can see in the picture, it is called volcanic cone. So based on the periodicity of eruptions, the volcanoes are classified into active volcano, dormant volcano and extinct volcano. So on the periodicity, the volcano is classified into 3. One is active, dormant and extinct volcano. The term volcano is derived from the Latin word vulcan, which is the name of Roman god of fire, derived from Latin vulcan. We can see the active volcano. The active volcanoes are those which constantly eject volcanic lava, gases and fragmented materials. For example, Mount St. Helens in the United States is example for active volcano. These volcanoes are eject volcanic lava. That means that it eject the lava and gases, and sometimes it create some sound. And second one is dormant volcano or sleeping volcanoes. So these volcanoes do not show any sign of volcanic activity for a long period of time, are known as dormant volcanoes or sleeping volcanoes. Sometimes there may be a sudden explosion which may cause unimaginable loss to life and property. So it is the dormant volcano. It is also called a sleeping volcano. It stopped ejecting. Likewise, it's like calm. Sometimes there may be a sudden explosion. This explosion caused unimaginable loss of life and property. Mount Fuji in Japan is an example of dormant volcano. And second one is the extinct or dead volcano. When a volcano permanently stops its volcanic activity, then it is called as extinct or dead volcano. Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu are the best example of this type of volcano. And second one, another one is the composite volcano. This composite volcano, also known as stratovolcano, is a conical volcano built by many layers of hardened lava, pumic and volcanic ash. These are commonly found in the Pacific Ocean. Example, Mount Fuji in Japan. This composite volcano, also known as the strata volcanoes, like a strata or the layer of the volcano. It's around. It is a conical volcano. It's a cone. It's looking like a cone. And second one is the volcanic dome. A lava dome or volcanic dome is roughly a circular mound formed to the slow ejection of viscous lava from a volcano. So it is a volcano. So in this type of volcano, this lava and magma ejection is in motion. As the lava is rich in silica with intense viscosity, it is prevented from flowing for form its vent. So this type of volcano, this volcano's ejection is very slow. It ejects its lava and other gases and other materials in the slow manner. Third one is, so another one is shield volcano. These shield volcanoes are formed by intense of viscous lava. These are shallow depositions which gently sloping slides. So this type of volcano is looking like a shield. These volcanoes slowly came from the inner side of the earth and it formed like a shield. This lava around the volcanoes and solidified by the other natural forces, then it's looks like a shield. So this is called shield volcano. So another one is the distribution of earthquakes and volcanoes. So most earthquakes and volcanic eruptions do not strike randomly but occur along the plate boundaries. So this volcanic eruption and earthquakes occur in the plate boundaries. One such area in the Circum-Pacific Ring of Fire. So Pacific Ring of Fire, this area is surrounded by number of volcanoes. The Pacific Ring of Fire is the most seismically and volcanically active zone in the world. That is the reason it is named as Pacific Ring of Fire. Effects of volcanoes and constructive effects. Now we are going to discuss about the effects of volcanoes. First one is constructive effects. Volcanic materials enrich the soil fertility that promotes agricultural activity. So the soil, the volcanic materials mean the lava and magma. It has the soil fertility. In the beginning, when volcanic eruption, the lava came out from the interior of the earth and it was solidified. After the solidification, on the other causes of the weathering, the rocks broken into number of particles, so like a soil. This soil has fertility. It is suitable for the cultivation of the agricultural activities. The hot volcanic region helps in generating geothermal energy. Many dormant and active volcanoes are the most attractive tourist spot of the world. So most of the volcanic materials are used for building materials. The destructive effect. What are the destructive effects of the volcanoes? Volcanic eruption causes earthquake. The volcanic eruption, the lava produced from the interior, that means in the core and mantle, so it caused the earthquake, flash flood, mudslides and rockfall. Lava can travel very far and burn, bury or damage anything in its path. The lava and lava flowing, it burn all the things. The large amount of dust and ash makes breathing hard and irritable. So dust and ash were produced by the volcanoes when the volcanic eruption. The volcanic eruption can alter the weather condition and disturb transport in and around the volcanic region. So these are the destructive effects of volcanic eruption. Okay children, today's class is over. You are asked to complete the assignment by clicking the link below. Thank you.